Hello friends, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Welcome to Not Hot Sauce Stream. Joshua Bardwell just did a Hot Ones, do all the ridiculous hot sauce streams, and that was ridiculous. That was painful. You won't catch that for me. I can't even drink milk without my anus becoming a jet engine, so none of that here. I can't even, I can't even brush up against the hot sauce bottle without getting the trots. I am hungover, though. I feel like garbage. Happy New Year! I forgot to say that. That should have been the first thing that I said. Happy New Year, friends. 2022 was a strange year. 2023 is going to be awesome, though. 2022 was a really good year, to be honest. It was my first full year being with Maggie. I'm a lucky dude. I cannot complain. There are things that I could technically complain about, but on the whole, yeah, bad things happening in 2022 were grossly offset by being with the coolest person in the world and two amazing children and look at me now. I'm living in a big, beautiful house, contributing to an awesome family, surrounded by friends with you guys, and yeah, it's just can't can't talk any smack really. It would be yeah, I'm a lucky guy. In the chat, Apache Smoke Wooden Sniper was first, Rob Axelson was next, Kevin Sumner, Chase, Athix, Bulldog, Michael D, Aaron FPV, Morton Upshot, Northern Tier, Huff 19, Espander, Marcel Off Axis, Aaron FPV, Fam G, Jackalope, Thumper is in the house. Haven't seen you in a while, Thumper. How are you, brother? Thumper was actually at Quad Camp Atlanta way back when. Brandon's Baked Beans, Espander, Jason Black, Mr. Blue Sky, Huff 19, T1 Ledley, Robert Rosser. I just realized that I have to go grab something from upstairs. Here's the rest of that boat footage that I was just playing. Hold on a second. I gotta run upstairs real quick. Be right back. Just gonna leave this on. This is not the right song. This will be a little bit better. Here you go. Hold on. Be right back.
I guess I'll be on my way now.
Come on, computer. You're better than this. How far in were we? I think we were right around here. Kill the audio on this. Be right back. Come on. There it goes. Come on, really? OBS, fucking get your shit together. Be right back. Man, OBS is struggling, Jesus. All right. Now we're good. Hello again. It's a hot little song. I'm gonna download that one too. I've been finding some good stuff on Epidemic Sounds lately. Cool. So yeah, low-key kind of chill stream. Which is kind of perfect because Joshua's stream was a lot. That was Jesus. I found Hot Ones during their very first season, and I remember thinking like, yo, this is gonna be like a thing, and I would tell lots of people about it, and everybody thought it was great. And I watched it like religiously for years, and then I don't know, man, like a couple of years ago, I guess I maybe just burned out on it a little bit. Mixed with like, I don't know, like it's funny to watch people in pain, but after a while it's like, I want to watch people happy rather than in pain, maybe. I don't know, it was, it's wild though, it's crazy. But have any of you guys have any of you guys watched most of the Hot Ones episodes and found yourselves like kind of not necessarily wanting to watch them anymore, or is that just me? I don't know. I burn out on stuff pretty easily though. I have a long history of burning out on perfectly good things. So maybe it's just me. But yeah, I was feeling, and Joshua is I consider Joshua to be a pretty close personal friend, so seeing him in agony was kind of weird. I was like, no, don't do it. Don't stop it. Don't do it. So yeah, but his chat seemed to be on fire. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. So definitely check it out if you weren't just watching that. Apache Smoke Winter Cyber says, good evening, CiottiFPV. Happy New Year to you and your beautiful family. How are you doing, friend? And hello, Gangly Gang. How's everybody doing? Happy New Year to all of the gang. Speaking of Gangly Gang, Gangly Gang stickers are available. They're not up on Etsy quite yet. I'll get them up there at some point here. $5 for a sticker. Yes, I know stickers don't cost $5, but it's me trying to continue to do this full time. So yeah, PayPal me $5 with your address and say, hey, send me a Gangly Gang sticker, and I'll send you one. $10 for 2. I'll throw in some extra stuff if you get 2. Make sure you get 2. Having only one of a sticker, it's no good. It's no good. If you're broken like me, because then you hoard that sticker and you end up with an entire box, a literal shoebox filled with one sticker each of stickers that you just can't peel that backing off and stick it to something. Because what if you stick it to something that you then don't want anymore? That sticker is gone. And that's not cool. So get yourself 2 stickers. So you can stick one. Although I actually have two of a bunch of those stickers in there. And I look at the second one and I'm like, I could stick this one. But what if I then got rid of that thing that I stuck it to? And then what if the one remaining, I stuck that to something and got rid of that? I would never have this sticker again. So nowadays I'll actually buy 3 of them. If I find a sticker I really like, I'll buy 3 of the damn things. Welcome to mental illness. Rob Axelson says, all the motor talk, I found some 1804s for a 4-inch freestyle. You mentioned 3-to-1, 4-to-1, plenty of cooling also. I'll check in tomorrow. So I've got an edit up called Words. Called it's a drift edit. Here it is, 4-inch movement, where I did a RunCam hybrid giveaway as well. Stop. Here's the link to 4-inch movement. This is the performance that you can expect out of a 4-inch prop on a 4-inch tri-blade, the Gemfan 4023, I want to say, on a 1804 X Nova 3500 kV, in a fairly lightweight frame. I think the all-up weight of the rig was 310, 320 or so. It was a prototype frame from Bob over at FPV Cycle, and RunCam hybrid on board, 4S 850 mAh battery, and the all-up weight was probably closer to 300. Technically, it might have been a little bit less than 300, but I doubt it. It was probably right on 300 all-up weight. I found the 1804 to not be enough motor for a tri-blade 4-inch propeller. It was more like a long-range kind of setup, which, I mean, nothing wrong with that, right? Like if RunCam hybrid on a long-range-ish rig, that's pretty cool. Put like a 1300 mAh 4S on there, and the damn thing would probably run for 10 minutes. But yeah, for a freestyle rig, I found 1804 to not be quite the right prop size for a 4-inch propeller, for a 4-inch tri-blade. I then went to, no, not on that same rig. At the time, 3.5-inch props weren't a thing. Later, I tried that similar combo. It was in a different frame. I think it was in the 250 frame. But the same motor, X Nova 1804 3500 kV motor. Brilliant motor, arguably the best micro motor that exists. On a 3.5-inch prop, and that was fantastic. Tri-blade, 3.5-inch tri-blade. On that prototype rig, after that drifting event, I switched those 1804s out for 2004s, and that was it. 2004 3500 kV motor on a 4-inch tri-blade was beautiful. I love that combination. My 250 is around here somewhere, and it's actually on that. There it is, down there. and it's actually on that combination, and it's just fantastic. So yeah, 1804s, in my opinion, for the sort of flight performance that I want from a full tilt freestyle rig, 1804 is ever so slightly too small, but you can just move to a 3.5-inch prop. I mean, that's kind of cool having a 4-inch build on 1804s. You put 4-inch tri-blades on it for like long range kind of stuff. You move to 3.5-inch tri-blades for freestyle kind of stuff. That's pretty slick. You just have to be careful when you're flying at freestyle to not bang it all up, because then as a long range rig, it's going to be annoying because it's going to have banged up motors, and you don't want that. That kind of defeats the purpose. So yeah, nothing wrong with that. Kevin Sumner says, eating wings on stream today, wrecking your stomach within 10 wings with the last dab sure looks like fun. ... Yeah, you guys will never catch me doing anything spicy. My stomach just sucks. Like my late 20s, my stomach was just like, nope, I'm out. You're not allowed to eat anything. And the gut-brain connection is a real thing. So I actually, one of the things that I do for my mental health is to try to eat healthy and to try to eat, I won't say healthy, to try to eat not horribly. It's much closer to the truth. Yeah, when your stomach is angry, the 5-second definition is that your gut, your stomach sort of is what produces the feel-good chemicals. And when your stomach is not feeling good, it's not going to produce those chemicals. And when you struggle with depression and anxiety, that's a real thing. So yeah, it's one of the things that kind of messes me up around the holidays, is that I start eating like shit because there's all kinds of delicious food, and that literally affects my mental health. It's wild, but it's a real thing. And the gut-brain connection is fairly new. That's not something that was really talked about or fully like fleshed out as early as like 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So still a lot of research that needs to be done on that, but it's real, man. Like if you get your diet under control, and I mean, if you have stomach problems, here's what I'll say. Go to Everlywell. I'm going to type it into the chat. Everlywell. Everlywell, I might have just spelled that wrong, but Google will fix it. Everlywell is a company who does stomach food sensitivity testing. It's a little expensive. I think it's like $150, but good Lord, is it worth it? So you can be allergic to stuff and it can kill you, right? Or sometimes you're allergic to stuff and it doesn't kill you, but it just makes you absolutely miserable. And then there's food sensitivities. They're two completely separate things. This is not an allergy test. You should probably already know what you're allergic to because it's a pretty obvious reaction. Food sensitivities are much more subtle. They send you a thing, you do a couple little blood dots, you send it back to them, and they send you for me it was a big list, but for some people it's not a very big list. But they send you a list of the things that your stomach doesn't like, and it's real, man. Like my list had 58 different things on it, which is an unbelievable number. And they rank them like the worst, next worst. For me, the worst offenders are milk, gluten, barley, hops, wheat, not wheat. I forget. It's been a while. Basically, I can eat. The things that don't bother me are very Asian. Like if I have a very Asian diet, my brain works better, my stomach is less awful, and yeah. So, but there are some fish that I can't have. Salmon is one of them, which is kind of annoying because it's super common. But yeah, it's a really big deal, and I started to do that, and the almost daily half an hour to an hour that I would spend in the bathroom went away. And my brain started working better, and all things were kind of good. So I don't know if it's just another tool that you've got. It's like I said, it's a little expensive, but I would have paid $1,000 for this test because it's made a real difference in my life, and I know what I can eat without. What's nice about the food allergy stuff is that, I'm sorry, the food sensitivity stuff is that it's kind of like a slow burn. Like, I can have like a half a glass of milk as long as I haven't been eating like an idiot for a while. It's kind of like a slow thing. So like, if I'm doing a really good job and not eating like a complete moron, I can have like a half a bowl of ice cream and I'll be okay. If I've been eating like an idiot and then I drink a milkshake, it's game over. I'm ruined. But it's really nice. Like, allergies don't work like that. Allergies are just like, you put it in your mouth and you're done. That's what she said. But yeah, the food sensitivity stuff kind of more slowly builds up and falls down. So if you're looking forward to eating somewhere that has a bunch of food that you know you can't really handle, you just eat only the foods that you eat really well for like a week or two leading up to that. And you get your stomach into like this chill place, and then you eat poorly and it just gets a little bit worse and it comes back down. So, but yeah, if you have stomach issues, if you're spending more than 5 minutes a day in the bathroom, maybe spend a couple of bucks on yourself. Go figure. Spending money on yourself is okay. It's not a waste of money. Improving your quality of life by spending some of your own money is okay. I promise. I know you think you should save that money and spend it on another set of motors, but I'm here to tell you that an Everlywell test to figure your stomach out versus a set of motors, the Everlywell test will make you more happy over a longer period of time. That new set of motors will only make you happy for a couple of days before you start destroying them. So do something for yourself, get your body straightened out this year, and yeah. Worked for me. Works for lots of people. Maggie has done it. Sage has done it. It's a real thing. It's real stuff. If you dig around, you will find articles that say, "Oh, the Everlywell test doesn't really work." That's what they're saying, is that there's not like double blind, like absolute testing that from 50 different sources that says yes, it's the most. It absolutely works, top to bottom, everything. It's hard to do that. Like, it's hard to test something that thoroughly and have it come out. Because there are people who do the test and there aren't many, they don't have many food sensitivities, and that, yeah, like, lucky them. I hope that's you. But yeah, like I said, if you're spending a bunch of time in the bathroom every day, it's probably going to find some stuff that you can get away from and improve your quality of life. So do it. Oh, up there and really high on one of mine is like chili flakes, all hot things, chili flakes. Yeah, just everything that's spicy is really high on my list. I'd known that forever, but yeah, that was why we started talking about that. Where were we in chat here? Michael D says Happy New Year, CiottiFPV and Gangly Gang. Fam G says what's up, Gangly Gang. Yellow Captain says, Happy New Year after a long time no see. We're continuing the hot sauce contest. Absolutely not. FamG says, Joshua's going to need a trip to the hospital. God, I hope not. Adam C says, hello and Happy New Year, CiottiFPV and everyone. CH3FPV says, boat flexing? Yeah, I'm lucky, man. That was I did not make much money off of that gig, I will admit. It's not like I definitely more than broke even, all right? But I did not make more than maybe a couple $100 off that gig. But to make any money and to fly to Los Cabos and fly around boats and one of the more expensive hotels in probably the Eastern Hemisphere, that ain't a bad that ain't a bad pre-Christmas present. So I'm not gonna complain about it. I learned. Every time I do one of these gigs, I learn a bunch of stuff. Every time I get a job as a freelancer, I learn a lot. And I learned a whole bunch on this one. And I hope that someday I'll be able to say no to jobs. But I'm not there quite yet. So I got to kind of just say yes to everything within reason. Everything that's not, like, dangerous. Like, I will say no to a job where they're blatantly asking me to do something either illegal or dangerous, which is something that happens more often than you'd believe. But other than that, if it's not illegal or like blatantly dangerous, I gotta say yes to it, and that's fine. You know, welcome to running your own business and kind of being a freelancer. That's just sort of the name of the game. Hey, sticker packs are available. I don't even remember what's in these. For $10, you can get a sticker pack. For an extra $5, I'll throw a Gangly Gang sticker in there. The sticker packs have a CiottiFPV magnet. They've got the pill-shaped logo here, regular matte sticker, a misprint, a holographic misprint sticker, and the Micro King sticker. So yeah, $10 for a little sticker pack. I've already got them ready in the envelope. PayPal me over at CiottiFPV.com. Hey, this is my full-time job. I peddle stickers and my time to keep this boat afloat. Over on CiottiFPV.com, there's a whole bunch of ways that you can support me if you like this kind of content and want to see it continue, because I rely on you beautiful people. You literally pay my salary, and that's why I can review stuff and talk shit about stuff and not like, you know, hey, so-and-so company that I'm sponsored by sent me this product and it's just great. Everything is great. Everything I review is great. You should buy it all and use my affiliate links, or else I'll kill you. You know, that's not what you're going to get here. I trash on things more often than I talk nice about them. Yeah, in order to do that, the way to do that, as I learned from Joshua Bardwell, is to, try to attract an audience of very kind, generous folks that will literally pay my salary. And that's what you guys do, and it's super cool, and I appreciate it more than you know. And let's keep it going for 2023. God, 2023. That's a big number. It's been 23 years since the 1900s. Chew on that for a minute. I said that to Maggie the other night, and the two of us were just like, ooh. Oof. That doesn't feel right. Like, what happened? I want 1999 again, yo. How about 1998? 1997? Yo, 1997 was legit. 1996? 1996, that was the shit. They made my old Mustang Cobra was made in 1996. It was a new car. Somebody bought it brand new in 1996. That shit's crazy. 1995? Yo. 1994. No. Yeah, crazy. I'm putting some props on to a Tiny Whoop here that's got 0802 EX 0802, the light ones, 30,000 kV motors on it, and I only have a couple of batteries on charge, but yeah, this is going to be a little revisitation of Big Power freestyle Tiny Whoops. Same setup as the ultimate freestyle Tiny Whoops, but with much more powerful motors. My favorite, and I've tested these before, and I know that I'm not gonna like this more than the other ones, but it's nice to revisit it. And as I fly more and as I get better, I'm able to deal with a more powerful rig without crashing quite as often. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to flying this. It's got kind of a shitty antenna on it, so the video quality will not be as good as the main ones, but yeah, it's kind of interesting to revisit really powerful motors. The true ultimate freestyle Tiny Whoop, the rig that I absolutely love the flight characteristics of the most, is the 0702 30,000 kV or 28,500 kV setup. Hopefully you got your 28,500 kV Gore motors before they sold out, because they are now gone. There will be a V2 at some point, but they are sold out. I did Although, if you're looking to build one right now, I did happen to see that tinywhoop.com has the 30,000s back in stock. So if you want to build a Tiny Whoop that will just melt your brain in terms of flight characteristics, Tiny Whoop has 0702 30,000 kV motors. You're probably going to want to motor limit them down. I would start at like 80% and then slowly creep it up, because 30,000 kV is an awful lot. It took me probably over 100 batteries to even remotely get used to it to be able to not crash constantly, and I still crash an awful lot. So Blizzard FPV with a $2 Canadian super chat. He says, Ciotti, I think you should check in on JB. I'll send him a Facebook message right now. Actually, it's a really good idea. He's active. I'm gonna say my chat still alive. Oh boy, wild. Abraham says, you know what cures hangovers? All the hot sauce. PJ says, NY hangover, woohoo. You in New York, PJ? Who did something for New Year's? Maggie and I went to a little party at our friend Eileen and Kurt's house. We hung there from like 7 or so until 10, and then we came home to hang out with the kids. It was an adult party, and then we hung here from 10 until like 1. A couple of our friends from across the street and their kid came over, and super low key. As always, YouTube's live stream coverage of the New Year's stuff was awful, just awful. I don't understand why. I just don't understand. But yeah, that was disappointing yet again. But in the last 5 minutes, they did show the ball drop, but there was no announcers. It's how the hell do you get like a proper New Year experience without paying $200 a month for fucking cable television? What am I missing here? Is it just me? What is happening? How is there not like a live stream of the whole thing with the announcers and the da-da-da-da? Although it is kind of, I don't know. Do we really need that anymore? It's about hanging out with cool people, right? PJ says, check PayPal. Happy New Year. Oh shit, here we go. I was just starting to get my emails under control. Hey, if you've emailed me, I'm behind. I'm like 3 weeks behind on emails. I don't know what the hell happened, but emails are the devil. Paul Denard sent $10. PJ says, send me a Gangly Gang sticker, then get the wheel out and pick a winner for the second. We'll do a contest in the chat for it. All right, hold on. There's 2. I gotta get 2 stickers out. All right, here we go. Paul's got his address in there. Very cool. Here, let me read Paul's address out to you guys. Paul, DENARD. All right, Paul, you are good, my friend. Thank you, brother. And then the second one we're going to do a little contest for. I'm going to ask a question, and the first person to answer it right in chat gets the second Gangling Gang sticker. Paul also says, Happy New Year, Ciotti. All the best to you and your wonderful family. Thank you, homie. Very much, PJ. Very cool of you. Danzel the Terrible, please. Wait, no. Danzel the Terrible here. 2 Gangly Gang stickers, please. Also, I forgot I said I would forward Kiz Bartlett's sticker along to him as well, so send him to me. Yes, I've got that. I've got that over here. That's good to go. Okay, cool. So, I'm going to grab 2. And I'm going to write Denzel the Terrible on these, because I think that's what your name is over on... I think that's what I need to search for on Patreon to find your address. Bill. Awesome. Thank you, brother. All right, cool. Some more Gangly Gang stickers are going out. I'm also behind on on shipping stuff out. So, but this week, it's all about this week, man. I'm gonna get caught up, get this floor a little bit cleaned up here. Looks like I got 2 Gangly Gang stickers going to Ed Ashley. And then here's Kiz Bartlett's. And I put a little note, ship this to Danzilla, and he'll send it to Kiz. All right, so I'm going to put that in Danzilla's stack. And then looks like Michael D is in here with 2. Yeah, Michael D is getting 2. All right, cool. We're organized. Better late than never. Thank you, BJ. Very cool of you. Michael D says, have you seen the newbie drone Acrobee65 BLV4? It has ELRS, does it really have diversity? ELRS diversity receiver, smart VTX. Oh, and it's purple. I'm thinking of building my first tiny lifter with it. I just saw that today, actually. Let's hop on their website and take a look. Newbie drone. Oh, Joshua got back to me. Let's see what he says. Phone, come on. Phone, come on. What are you doing? Okay. He says, yep, I'll be okay. I'm going to say, what animal? All right, cool. Joshua shall live to fight another day. Newbie drone pre-build. There it is. Let's take a look. I love that it's all purple. That makes me happy. And look, it's got these new flow motors. I gotta be honest, these new flow motors look awful heavy. Maybe they're not, but boy, do they look heavy. It also looks like they've maybe... Is this a newer version of this frame? This looks really tall here. It looks like the duct part of the frame is really tall. Could just be an optical illusion, or maybe I just haven't seen a cockroach frame in a while because I don't run them anymore. So, what do we got? New colors, new T antenna, new Flow 0802, built-in receiver. I love the little antenna through the middle of the goober canopy. That's super slick. Yeah, that's rad. New refreshed appearance, classic design with T antenna. New Flow 0802 19,000 kV motors. That kV is way too low for me. I have asked Newbie Drone on multiple occasions if they'll ever do a higher kV motor, and basically their stance is that, you know, their name is Newbie Drone. Newbie. They're for newbies. They've literally said this to me. They're like, you know, we cater to newbies, so we're not going to make these big super powerful motors because newbies are not going to be able to handle those. So yeah, very cool looking motor, but at 19,000 kV, it's just kind of worthless to me, if I'm totally honest with you. The AIO, on the other hand, is super interesting. Unfortunately, it looks like it's still using their sort of proprietary, not really proprietary, just unique to them, JST 1.25 motor plugs. They do have these nice big pads so you can direct solder motors, or they also sell JST 1.25 connectors that you can direct solder to your motors if your motors have the little PCB on them, which a lot of the Tiny Whoop motors now do have. So them using these proprietary-ish plugs is a lot less annoying now than it's ever been. Admittedly, it's still a little bit annoying. Looks like they've got the power pads on the corner here, which is kind of nice, I guess. I don't really care. The Mobula 6 has them inboard, and they're through holes, and they're pretty easy to use as through holes. So I mean, it's whatever. They've got a nice big heat sink here on the VTX, which is really nice. They started to do that on the V3. And I'm sure they've made it even better here. New Smart VTX, temperature power control, up to 400 milliwatts. Onboard temperature regulation prevents damage to boards. More powerful image transmission for long-range flying. My guess is going to be that this is the best of the VTXs. That's a total guess. But you know, they're actively doing something to try to control the heat of the VTX. So yeah, my guess would be that this is, if you want to build a long-range tiny whoop, this is probably going to be your best bet. That is just a total guess. I could be dead ass wrong about that, but they're the only ones that are actually seem to be thinking about keeping the VTX cool. Everybody else just seems to slap the VTX chips on the board and, you know, YOLO motherfuckers, you turn it up and blow it up. It's on you. Buy another one. So that's kind of cool. New built-in receiver, non-SPI receiver integration, multiple receivers to choose from, ELRS, question mark, question mark. V3 to V, oh, this is pretty cool. V3 to V4 comparison. The V3 was 5 to 120. This new one just says 400. I hope that doesn't mean that you can only run it at 400. That's weird. Up to 500 feet of... this is just silly. FR Sky D8, D16, ELRS 2.4, non-SPI, 0802, 18,000 kV, 0802, 19,000 kV. Let's take a look at the specs. Looks like standard F411 processor. Here we go. Changeable output. 5 milliwatts, 25 milliwatts, or full tilt. Will change VTX output based on temperature. Flight controller. ESC firmware. It's coming with Blue Jay. That's pretty cool. It's coming with Blue Jay 48 kilohertz. That's pretty slick. You don't even need to change your firmware. That's the most current version. So that's slick. Oh wow, 12 amp ESC. No shit. Okay. That changes the situation a little bit. This is now on par with the Happy Model X12, which is kind of a big deal because the my X12 failed. So this is also 1S or 2S. So this is probably a better bet than that X12. Would be my guess. That's pretty cool. Newbie Drones OSD, which is slick. Flight controller weight 6.5 grams, including antenna and battery connector. T-Motor AIO 5 amp. So this is not a super fair comparison, but this isn't a fair comparison because this is only a 5 amp, but realistically, if you're going to build a 65 millimeter tiny whoop, this is all that you really need. What's the weight on this fella? 6.7 grams, look at that. So we're talking 6.7 grams versus 6.5. Okay, so they're both heavy. Both the T-Motor 65 millimeter tiny whoop AIO and this new newbie drone are significantly heavier than the Happy Model F4 full size. They're also probably significantly higher quality. That weight is probably coming from a thicker ground plane and just in general better quality control. I mean, the quality control doesn't weigh anything, but better components, stuff like that. So yeah, interesting. Wonderful that we've got another AIO option. Oh look, the T-Motor comes with BT 2.0. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's kind of a shame that they're this heavy, but I mean, kind of is what it is. Here's the other thing. The T-Motor is only 1S. The T-Motor will not do 2S. They have a T-Motor AIO now that will handle 2S, but it doesn't have the receiver on board. It doesn't have the VTX on board either. So that's a completely different kind of deal. This is really cool because it can handle 2S and it has everything on board, much like the Happy Model X12 AIO. So yeah, for a tiny lifter, this is pretty rad, man. This is kind of it. in my opinion, as long as it's durable, which, you know, we don't have any feedback on. But Newbie Drone tends to be really good about testing their stuff. They have some great pilots in-house, and they're stateside, and so this is probably the AIO to have for a tiny lifter. UART2 transmitter and receiver for Express ELRS receiver, so it looks like UART2 is tied up with Express ELRS. That's normal, but then it looks like there is UART1 TX and RX free. That's awesome. This is great, man. This is a great flight controller. Let's see, are they selling it separately yet? Not yet. So yeah, when this flight controller is available separately, I think this is going to be the one to have for the tiny lifters. All of my tiny lifters at the moment are on the V3 version of this AIO, and it's been great. It's really been great. We're gonna do the giveaway for this in a second. All right, so let's do the giveaway now. I think that's all I have. Well, no, hold on. Let's see what gyro's on here. Do they say what gyro's on here? ESC. I can't believe it's a 12 amp ESC. That's pretty rad. That makes it even better for the tiny lifters. They're not calling out what gyro it has, which kind of annoys me, but whatever. Somebody buy it and type status into the CLI, and it'll tell you what the gyro is, and then report back, please. One of you guys is going to buy this, I'm sure. Hey, if you buy this, I do have a Newbie Drone affiliate link. Over on CiottiFPV.com, there's a million ways that you can support me. Patreon helps me out the most. That's why it's on the top of the list. For $3 whole a month, you can support me and get a whole bunch of benefits. But there's also a whole bunch of affiliate links. One of the affiliate links is to Newbie Drone, so hit that before you check out when you do orders on Newbie Drone, and I'll get a small percentage of the order. I have a bunch of other affiliate links too: Amazon.com, FPV Cycle, We Bleed FPV, a whole bunch. Try to remember to hit those. When you're buying stuff online, think about your content creators that you also watch online, and see if one of us has an affiliate link. It's free money for us, and it allows us to do what we do. This is awesome. This is I don't care about the motors. I love that there's purple ASI props, although I kind of don't care about the ASI props because they're too fragile. I love that there's a purple goober canopy. The cockroach frame is kind of needlessly heavy, and it doesn't seem to be as durable as the Meteor65, so I can take that or leave that. The AIO is amazing. I absolutely love a lot of things about this AIO, and that's pretty much the entire rig. So yeah, this is great. $160 is steep, but the AIO is really good quality. I bet you these motors are good quality. They're just too low of a KV to really accomplish anything if you're a pilot that's flown more than 100 batteries. But yeah, the AIO is a fucking revelation on this thing, man, and this is a hell of a platform for a tiny lifter. I wonder if they have it in 75 yet. Probably not. Ready to fly kits. Wait, no. Bind to fly drones. So they sell, just so, I mean, if you want to build a tiny lifter, they sell almost a tiny lifter for $136. Like, this is almost identical to my tiny lifters. It's the same Cockroach 75 frame. It's the wrong motors. These are 0802 motors. You need to get a tiny lifter onto 1102 motors to handle the weight of the Insta360 Go 2. These ASI props are very efficient and very quiet. They're a little too fragile for me, though. So I go with Gemfan propellers. It's the right canopy. It's not necessarily the right camera. I'm still kind of playing around with that. I got to dive back into the tiny lifters, actually, and do a little bit more futzing around with different camera options. But this camera will absolutely work. That really gorgeous flight around the Japanese maple I did with this camera, and it was just a little fuzzy. And I think they have this thing wired for 2S. It looks like they've got a GNB27 plug on it. That's not going to work for the way that I build mine. I run double BT 2.0 300 mAh batteries on mine, and you just would need to make a little plug with two BT 2.0 connectors in series, which is kind of easy to do. So yeah. you can get like 80% of a tiny lifter ready to go right out of the box here. I gotta be honest though, I would. So if you do it with this rig, you're gonna have to swap the motors out. And I would not run this on FR Sky. This is set up for FreeSky. It does have a plug that you can hook up to drop like an EP1 in there for $12 whole, and that's what I've done on mine. The V4 version of this board having ELRS on board, that's pretty dope. That just makes the build that much easier. So yeah, I would maybe wait until you can either buy the AIO separate, or until they, I'm assuming they're just gonna sell, they're already discounting it. I'm assuming they're just gonna continue to discount this until they get rid of all of these V3s, and then they'll replace this item with a Newbie Drone Acrobee65 BLV4 bind and fly to us. So yeah, but that's really cool, man. That V4 AIO, that's a big deal. I'm kind of loving that. Just for the sake of it, I did click the link in the product listing and it didn't take me anywhere, but just for the sake of clicking on flight controllers and ESCs, yeah, no, it's not in here. Yeah, so it's not yet. It's not available yet. It's only available in the bind and flies. Yeah, I really wish they would do a higher KV motor on that bind and fly, because even if they just did like even like 22,000 kV, or realistically though, like 24,000, 25,000, that would make that bind and fly worth it to give it a shot. Those motors are probably really durable. But at 19,000 kV, those motors are just worthless in my opinion. They're too small of a stator volume for you to pair them up with a propeller that's got enough pitch and or blades to make any meaningful thrust. So like, if you do go with that rig, get a set of quad blade Gemfan props, because that's the only way that you're going to get enough thrust out of those motors to be happy, in my opinion. The flight characteristics are going to suffer a little bit because the quad blade props are really heavy, and the motor is only an 802 stator volume, which is not enough stator volume to properly control the weight of the quad blade props. But you need those quad blade props because the KV is so low to get any meaningful thrust off of them. So yeah, kind of a weird scenario there, but that's kind of the deal. That's why these 702 and 802 motors in these lower KVs, to me, just really kind of don't make any sense. You need that small of a stator volume motor to have a higher KV to produce more power for a freestyle kind of setup. Even for racing, the racers prefer 24,000, 25,000 kV motors, even 26,000 kV motors. So, but again, Newbie Drone is making stuff for newbies, and for someone brand new in the hobby, this V4 would be just fantastic. I'll be honest, I'm still curious about the T-Motor AIO, but man, for $66, I just can't justify getting it because it's so heavy. Like, I know that if I buy that T-Motor AIO, I'm going to build a rig with it, and I'm going to be unhappy with how it flies because it's that AIO is so much heavier than the Happy models. So, as curious as I am, I just don't really necessarily have the money right now to buy an AIO that I know that you know what I mean? Like, I know that I'm not going to like it when it comes to flight characteristics because it's so heavy. It's great that it's probably the best quality AIO, other than maybe this Newbie Drone. But the Happy models that are significantly lighter are not terrible in terms of reliability. If I was having these Happy model full-size F4 ELRS AIOs blow up a lot of the time, it'd be a different story. But they've been remarkably durable. So, yeah. This is the rig with the EX 0802 30,000s. This is the big mega power rig. Let's plug it into Betaflight, get the motors spinning the right direction, and I'm going to try to get caught up on chat while I'm sort of doing that. So, hold on. Let me click Betaflight to start the very long application launching process. All right, there we go. Abraham says, if there's a fire, I'm grabbing my family and and my good sticker bag first. Am I not the only one that's weird with stickers? That would make me happy. Michael Blade says, Happy New Year. Thank you, brother. PJ says, check PayPal, Happy New Year. Thanks again, PJ. Michael D says, no, we got that? All right, so now I'm just repeating all the chat things. Denzel the Terrible says, just PayPal you for the Gangly Gang stickers. Send Kids Bartlett stickers to me too so I can forward them to Jolly Old England. Thanks again, Danzilla. All right, cool. Easy. Joshua says, I definitely won't be doing that regularly. So let's come into the motors tab, and I just want to get them all spinning in the right direction. Wizard, start spin. Okay, 1 is correct. Mr. Huggy says, you're the lucky one when it comes to food. If I have meat, I will explode. Quite happy, been a vegetarian. You know what's really insane is that I would 3 needs to get reversed, but that's it. Like spiritually and just like mentally, I would prefer to be a vegetarian, but meat is one of the things that I can definitely eat. And yeah, there's a bunch of protein related like non-meat things that I can't eat, which is super annoying. So I'm eating more meat now after getting the Everlywell test than I have in many years. I was veg being short for vegetarian, for a bunch of years in my like late 20s, early 30s, and man, I loved it. I felt great. But yeah, it's a thing. All right, motors are spinning the right direction. We're good to go in there. Jackalope says, I just went to the Everly website and they're doing 35% off right now. Very cool. I'm telling you guys, if you're spending more than 5 or 10 minutes in the bathroom a day, get a fucking Everlywell test. You can take that other 20 or 30 minutes that you're not in the bathroom every single day and do something that makes you money to pay for the Everlywell test in like a month. So yeah, just do it. I swear, I shit you not. See what I did there? I spent more than 30 minutes in the bathroom a day, every single day of my life, in all of my 20s and all of my 30s. I'm not even kidding. And like now that I don't, I actually started to notice that I can get more things done in my life. Like, no bullshit. Like, once I got my stomach straightened out in 2022, I literally noticed more time to get shit done every single day of my life. It was crazy. So, it was such like a, what the hell's wrong with me? I should have done this so much sooner moment. So, yeah, don't be like me. Get your stomach straightened out. And you'll just be, in general, like, less miserable. Because, yeah, pooping is not, like, a fun thing to do. It's just a waste of time. It does give you a chance to get caught up on social media, though. Let's be honest. All right, so here's the contest sponsored by sponsored by PJ. You're gonna get a free Gangly Gang sticker if you can answer. If you're the first person to answer this question in chat, and the question is, in my old apartment. What was hold on, let me come up with a good one. In my old apartment, what was the one thing in the living room that I tried really hard not to hit with the tiny whoops? Is not the television. There was one specific thing in the living room that was very susceptible to being nailed by the tiny whoops that I always tried really hard to not hit. And I would mention it, and I would say it all the time. Like, this is the one thing that I don't want to hit in this living room. And every once in a while when I would hit it, I would say, yeah, this is the one thing I'd try not to hit. And I just smashed into it. First person to answer gets a gangly sticker. Answer correctly, at least. We Bleed FPV says, rather have you be honest and keep it real. CiottiFPV for that's what makes this work and what's best for the community. Hell yeah, We Bleed knows what's up. Zotek is dialed in on the right way to do shit. Abraham says, obligatory PSA, it's worth having a conversation with your PCP before spending hundreds of dollars on those home tests. Very good call, Aber. Not saying there isn't time for it, just not a great first resort. That's a great point. PCP being primary care physician, not the drug. I do not have a doctor. So yeah, I went directly to the Everlywell route. But yeah, very, 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 very good point. Wow, nobody has gotten it yet. Oh man, there's a lot of answers though. Hold on, I gotta go up. Top. I have not seen the right answer yet though. Raven187 says crack cocaine. D Dot says DJI. Green, red, magnifying glass light. Bozadar Reyes says cat. Espander says your ex. D Dot says lamp. Jackalope says burrito blanket. McConnell Studio says lamp. Rabble Rotorworks says the boy. Jay-Z says X. Raven says ceiling fan. These are all wrong. Jun Loco says sink. Frank Nicholas says your wife's hair. Jackalope says pizza blanket. Apache Smoke says the sink. Denzel says VHS copy of Eat, Pray, Love. Abraham says bookshelf. PJ says I'm not OG enough, but good luck everyone. Abraham says penis. D-Dot says mirror. PJ says Abraham wins. Denzel says the bong. D-Dot says plant. Michael D retracts his message. Bob Noxious says toilet. Nobody's gotten it right. I guess I didn't talk about this often enough. I thought somebody might get it. Bob Noxious says the toilet. Mr. Huggy says picture frame. June Logo says litter box. Morton Upshot says your imported blown glass butt plug collection. 661 says 2 minutes behind. Denzel the Terrible says the urn with Mima's ashes. Bobby Bag says the TV. D Dot says lava lamp. TK says like a whole new life without the stomach problems. It really is. Abraham says that's when I noticed it too. 661. Raven 187 says I was close. Trophy. Mr. Huggy says curtains. Jay-Z says valuables. D Dot says window. 661 says it was some picture on the wall. I don't know what it was. All right, no, none of you guys got it. It was the record player. Remember the clear plastic top on the record player that I didn't want to get all scratched up. That's what it was. All right, so I'll pick an easier question. Pick an easier question. Pick a question from here. What's a question from here? Hold on. The record player thing stands out to me because I always tried really hard to not hit it because I didn't want to wreck the nice crystal clear cover on it. What? Here you go. What's the name of this frame? What's this one? What's this frame? Now, who's it made by? What's the name of the frame? This one over here. Athix says Apex. QAV. Nope. Dead Cat Glide. Nope. Raven 187 says what? It's this one. All the way over in the corner. Apache Smoke Wooden Sniper gets it. It's the Cineglide. There we go. That was a little bit hard. Hold on. Let me make sure that that it didn't get answered earlier than that. Yep, nope, that was it. Apache Smoke, Wood, and Sniper got it. Apache Smoke, send me a... I know it's blurry, Jackalope, but I mention that every once in a while, and I point at it, and I tell you guys the name, and every once in a while I take it down. So that was kind of a hard one, to be honest. That's a good guess, Rocinante. No, Rocinante's over here. The Razorback is here. The Rossi is here. And that's the Cineglide on the 5.5-inch Dead Cat arms. Apache Smoke, message me your address if I don't have it. If it's not in Patreon, I think it is. Apache Smoke Wounded Sniper. Thanks, PJ, for sponsoring a little Gangly Gang sticker giveaway. And congrats, Apache Smoke. You got it right. How'd you know that? How'd you know that little piece of info? Who actually knew it? It looks like Apache Smoke is the only one that got it right. Danzilla got it right. Aber the Ham got it right. It's lagging. Yeah, it sucks. Sorry, guys. Nothing I can do about that. Apache gets that long-distance snail mail. Oh no, Apache, are you in Uzbekistan? Oh no. Is it in Holland? Oh, Apache Smoke. Well, you might not get it. But I'll try. Oh boy. Yeah, Netherlands. Oh god. I've had such horrible luck shipping overseas. Oh fuck. Oh Jesus. Okay. We'll try. I will try. All right, cool. So, what are we doing? Let me get caught up on the rest of the chat. Hold up. Scrolling up. And 661 says, We Bleed 0702 V2, are they going to be different? Seems like all the Happy Model Tiny Whoop and We Bleed FPV motors are identical. What's new? I can't really talk about that, but they'll be available and you'll see what they look like, and yeah. I know the answer to that question, but that's not something that yeah. But they'll be available again soon. There's lots of other. You guys are gonna start to see a lot of different Tiny Whoop motors. It's not just gonna be the Happy Model show, which is a really good thing because maybe RC and Power can make a better 0702 than Happy Model. Maybe Brother Hobby can make a better rate. So it's up until this point, it's just been the Happy Model show. Like they're the only Tiny Whoop motors really worth getting. But you're gonna see that change, and so you might see some manufacturers kind of shift and not just spit out Happy Model motors with different etching on the side, right? So this is gonna be a cool Tiny Whoop season because we're gonna start to see the motors. We're gonna have a lot better selection in motors. We've already got the who's heard anything about the Babito motors? Are they any good? They're super high kV. I think they're made by RC and Power. I believe they're 0802s though. I haven't seen anyone do a 702 yet, but if Happy Model's doing them, anybody can. So yeah, we're gonna see some good ones. Kevin Sumner says adult party like adult bookstore or adult video rent. Just non-alcohol party, right? Like not a family-friendly, like whatever. PJ says, I wish I made the trip to New York to see the ball drop. Maybe someday. It had a low-key night as well. New Year's is what I meant. I'm not a drinker myself. Man, I've known when I lived up in the Northeast, New Jersey, I'd known a lot of people that went to the New York City ball drop, and not one of them had a good time. I do not recommend it. I will never do it myself. There are no bathrooms. Like most people, not most people, but the people who've done it more than once are wearing like adult diapers. It's kind of a nightmare, and you have to get there like 24 hours ahead of time. It's I do not recommend it. Go to any other city's ball drop, and you'll probably have a much better time. Although I don't know, I have no want or will to do. So Maggie did the peach drop in Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, at some point long ago, and it was not. She did not have a good time. She did. So it's like, what do? Do you drive in there, right, or do you take public transport? Well, our public transport here is called MARTA, and they kind of suck, and that was a big part of the problem. So then it's like, oh, let's drive in there and not get out of there until 6 a.m. because 7,000 other people have driven in there. So yeah, it's tough, man. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever do a big New Year's thing. I feel like going to someone's house that's having a party is peak New Year's, or having your own party. So yeah. But the New York City ball drop, do your research. 661 says, just ordered some tiny Whoopo 702 30,000s and also some more Weebleed 24,500s because I seem to really like those for indoors. They're great motors. I'm really curious about the 26,500s, but I still think that they're I'm interested in them because I wonder about the extra throttle resolution, but I think that they're not going to have enough power. Morton Upshot says, I was watching the Peach Bowl, great game that went the wrong way, unfortunately. Sports ball! Balls forward. Move your balls forward and win. Sports ball. Sorry, guys. Sorry. No offense. Michael D says, it's a new cockroach-style frame. It's a little more flexible. For a tiny lifter, do you think the flight controller would be good? Yeah, I think it's... yeah, that's the flight controller you want for a tiny lifter. Unless they messed up all the specs and the fact that this is V4 and they've had a ton of time to develop this thing, I can't imagine that it's not the best tiny lifter AIO. Hopefully on 2S, it's durable, but man, 2S from a little tiny Whoop AIO with all that shit crammed on it is an awful lot to ask, and it's a lot to ask. That being said, my tiny lifters have been bulletproof, so, but CMYK went through a whole bunch of, I think like 3 or 4, he blew up like 3 or 4 of the newbie drone V3 and V2 AIOs, running them on 2S. It's a lot to ask. He was running them freestyle hard. Tiny lifters are not going to push that hard. You're almost never going to be full throttle on them. So, yeah. Almac FPV says, what are your thoughts on Quicksilver? I installed it along with Blue Jay, and I got to say it flies great, handles amazing, seems so much more steady than Betaflight. Happy New Year. I haven't really spent any time researching Quicksilver. I'm perfectly happy with Betaflight. I love the tunability. I love having the same firmware on every single thing. So yeah, I'm not the guy to ask about Quicksilver. I haven't heard it talked about much lately, so my guess is that a lot of people have moved to Betaflight with 4.3, but that's just a guess. Michael D says BMI 270. That's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, that newbie drone V4 AIO that's legit. That is legit. Kevin Sumner drops in CiottiFPV.com link. Thank you, brother. Michael D says Weebleed has one. What do they have? What do they have? What's Weebleed have? Michael D. He's got an arrow facing upwards, but I don't know where the... Oh, Weebleed says I have one. What do you have? What were we talking about at 3:51? Good lord, that was a half an hour ago. Zotek, what do you have? Scroll. Michael D says, true, they are low KV, but what whoop do you have with original motors? Yeah, it's true. I only have one. Yeah, very true. Bob Noxious says, what's up? What's up, homie? Abraham says, is newbie drone still using their B sign OSD? They are, because that was also an annoyance. Yeah, they have to. Newbie Drone has to use their own OSD because they do not put the gigantic OSD chip on their boards. They put a much smaller chip on there, and that forces them to use their own proprietary OSD, similar to Brain FPV. If Newbie Drone was to use the standard OSD chip, they would probably not be able to put the 12 amp FETs on there. Yeah, their AIOs, one of the reasons that their AIOs are different and in some cases better is that they're not wasting so much space on the board with that massive old school OSD chip. So it's, yeah, rob Peter to pay Paul or whatever the hell it is. Bozadar Reyes says cat. Oh, here we go. So this is the little contest for the sticker. FamG says, I took a picture of CiottiFPV's bathroom in his old place. It's the coolest, most decorative bathroom I've ever seen. YouTube just did the thing. Scrolling back up. And Abraham says, no, not really lagging. Sorry. I was making a gaming joke about why my answer was late. Nice. Apache Smoke says, sorry, it's all good, brother. Danzilla the Terrible says, send it with kisses to me. I'll forward it to Apache Smoke Wounded Sniper. Deal. Deal. Thank you, dude. Very cool of you. All right, Denzel the Terrible's getting a stack of stickers. His it's written on the back of the sticker. Mazurki says just send it in a normal envelope as a letter. Yep, that's what I do with all the stickers. I just put them in a regular envelope with a bunch of stamps. And if they go overseas, I put a whole bunch of stamps on them. I look it up, figure out how many. But both doing that and using stamps.com shipping overseas, it's been over a year since anything. No, I think finally one thing made it overseas a couple months ago. But I've had at least a half a dozen things in 2022 that I did everything right, and they just don't make it there. It's super annoying. America, we're the only ones that exist on Earth. Avix says BBS are heavy ball bearing. What? Oh, the Babito 0802s are heavy, and they have ball bearings, I think is what Athix is saying. Johnny Cat says, Happy New Year, Ciotti and Gang of the Gang. Happy New Year to you as well, Johnny Cat. Jesse Garcia says, Manhattan already smells like pee on a good day. New Year's Eve is a shit show. Yeah, I've heard some pretty gross shit about New Year's Eve in New York City. Yeah, you gotta be really dedicated, man. You gotta be a real big fan of New Year's, I guess. PJ says, guess I'm skipping that one. No New York for me. Yeah, man. Let me put it this way too. I've never heard a single person say, "Oh my God, I went to the New Year's Eve and it was such a great time." Like I've only ever heard like, "Yo, whoa, this is a mistake." 661 says, "I really like the 26,500. They do have a lot of power." And the 24,500 is still surprisingly powerful, has great throttle resolution. I can power loop anything with those so easy. Yeah, 25,000 kV and up, you can start to do power loops and shit like that. What you can't do is like the stuff that I really like to do, like the big stalls and like the huge throws and like but 25,000, to me, in my opinion, 25,000 kV should be the minimum. There should not be tiny whoop motors made less than 25,000 kV, especially because if you want 19,000 kV, you make the fucking motor do 25,000, you put the throttle limit on. And then your new person, as they get better, they can turn the power up. Like it's really frustrating that these crazy low kV motors are still being made. 25 should be the minimum, and then you throttle limit it down for new people. And then for us lunatics that want 30,000, luckily that's now available, or 28,500 or whatever. So yeah. 661 says, because here's the other thing, right? Like speaking of power loops, what's the other big thing in my opinion with these 28,500, 30,000 kV, really high kV motors is that you can power loop normally. Like when we power loop a 5-inch rig, we raise the throttle as we're pitching back, and then basically when we see all sky, we blip the throttle and then we come off of it. Unless we're trying to power loop like 200 yards, but like a normal power loop, it's just, and that's enough to throw it back and give it the room to scrub the forward momentum, throw it backwards and get it where it needs to be. With the lower KV motors on a tiny whoop, a power loop is, and it's a whole separate muscle memory that you have to learn. With these high KV motors on the tiny whoops now, you can do a regular power loop just the same way with pretty much the same pacing on the throttle as you do with all of your other rigs. And that's a big deal because then you don't have to learn like, oh, when I power loop this rig, I have to do it like this. When I power loop this, it closes the gap between the way that you need to fly and the inputs that you need to put into the transmitter, between your outdoor shit and your indoor shit. And that's that's the dream for me. Like, I want to be able to fly a tiny whoop. I want to get good at flying a tiny whoop and then go outside and fly a 5-inch rig and be better at flying the 5-inch rig. Up until this point, and kind of still now, flying tiny whoop a ton is going to make you worse at flying 5-inch for a little while. Because there's still going to be a pretty serious adjustment period when you get outside and fly a really proper big power rig. That gap is definitely closing, and I don't think that like 31,000 or 32,000 kV motors are the answer. I think just continuing to develop the 30,000 kV or 29,000 kV or whatever it may be. I think anything north of 28,000 seems to be enough power. Now what we need is different versions of those motors from different manufacturers using different air gaps, different magnet material, different magnet spacing, slotted magnets, non-slotted magnets, some with bearings, some with bushings, different windings on the stator poles, right? There's different thickness of the laminations of the stator poles. There are like 20 different things that will make one motor perform different from the next motor that have nothing to do with stator size or KV. Stator size and KV are the big ones. They make the biggest difference. But it's not everything. And a lot of these other things, which are admittedly much more subtle, when you combine all of them, it does make a big difference. And it primarily makes a difference in the where in the throttle throw it makes different amounts of power. So at 46% throttle, one motor will make 23 grams of thrust, another motor will make 28 grams of thrust. And that's a big deal. And yeah, in trying to, again, close the gap and have our tiny whoops fly as close as possible to a 5-inch freestyle rig, that's just what we're going to need. We're just going to need a whole bunch more manufacturers to mix it up and make these motors differently with different specs. And I mean, that just sort of naturally happens when RC and Power starts making a 702, when Brother Hobby starts making a 702, when name another company that's making motors. I think there's only a couple plants that actually make the motors, but each one of these different FPV companies has a separate set of specs that they submit when they have a run of motors done. And so, yeah, as we start to see more options, we're going to be able to kind of dial that in, and I'm really excited about that. So, yeah, come along for the ride. Join my Patreon. We'll do it together. 661 says, I would say that the 0702 24-5000 is faster than an 0802 25,000 because of the weight loss. For sure. Yeah. 500 kV difference is almost certainly imperceptible. And the 0702s are significantly lighter than the 0802s, and that will absolutely make a much bigger difference than that 500 kV gap. Double A says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you as well, my friend. Michael D says, if newbie drone is for beginners, they can release a whoop with 25,000 kV and throttle limit from the factory. Mention the throttle limit in the instructions. Even more so, they can put the throttle... Ooh, maybe they can't. What I was about to say is they can put the throttle limiting on a switch. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. They absolutely can. Because the throttle limiting is within the PID profile. And so if they really want to be super newbie friendly, they use the 3 PID profiles and they put it on a switch, and technically speaking, you could even hook that switch. You could have that switch also trigger horizon, angle, and acro mode. So they could have your main 3-position switch. The top position is the most throttle limited down, and that's on angle mode. And then the next switch position is horizon mode for when you actually want to be able to flip all the way around, and that gives you a little bit more power. And then they can put angle mode with full power. And they don't even have to mention throttle limiting. They just have to say, hey, beginner mode, boom, switch position up. Intermediate mode, switch position in the middle. Now you can do full flips and rolls. And then professional position, acro, lots of horsepower, away you go. That's a selling point, yo. Like, that's legit. People would buy their Binin Fly over someone else's because of that, in my opinion. Maybe they wouldn't understand what any of that means. Athix with a little up arrow. The BBS motors are 2 grams a piece versus 1.5 inch. Wow, that's really heavy. They look heavy. The Babito motors physically, that was the first thing, when I first saw them, I was like, oh, they literally look heavy. That's a shame that they're so heavy, because 0802s are already kind of too heavy. So yeah. Thanks for letting me know that, Athix. Super helpful. Bugs.FPV says, if Bubby can make a motor, how hard would it be for you to make your own line? The difficulty, Bugs, would be in the initial outlay. I just don't have any money. You know, when you order motors, you got to order 1,000 of them or 500 of them, or yeah, you got to order an absolute ton of them. And there's a prototyping process, and it's a lot of work. I have no interest in selling products in the FPV space. I have plenty of friends that have done it, and I know exactly what's involved, and there's a ton of risk. So I don't have the money, and I can't take the risk. I can't afford to take the risk. To give you a pretty extreme example of this, at one point, my buddy Bob from FPV Cycle lost $22,000 on a Brother Hobby order of motors. You know, that, like, that's obviously on the high end of things, but yeah, I mean, that money's gone forever. Like, and that was after they split that was only half of the price of the motor, the run of motors that had the bad bells. Basically, Bob submitted the specs that he wanted, and the prototypes were manufactured correctly, but then the production motors were not. And Brother Hobby basically said, well, you know, no, we're not going to refund you your whole order. We'll split it with you. And that was half the price of that run of motors. That's one of the reasons that a lot of us kind of boycott Brother Hobby, because that's fucked up. I mean, like, on one hand, I get it. Like, them having to eat that whole order, they might have gone under. We don't know, right? I'm sure that they did as much as they could. I don't know. But it's not cool. And Bob's a good guy. And yeah, so I don't know if that's necessarily like public info, so do me a favor, don't go blasting that all over the internet. But yeah. AthixFPV says, I DM'd you on Discord. I have my Discord opened. No, I don't. I closed it. I've had I've been pretty good about leaving the Discord opened. But right now I didn't. Who's that? Dalton? That's much appreciated. I talk to Dalton all the time, but it's been a while since I've talked to him. So thanks for thinking of that, brother. Dalton had told me about the V4 AIO months ago. Months and months and months ago. He didn't have any specs, but we were kind of bullshitting. And he said, like, there's something coming. He didn't, like, specifically tell me about it, but he was like, something cool coming. And, like, the context of the conversation, I knew exactly what that meant. So, yeah, my guess is that he might have already put that bug into someone's ear. But if he hadn't, I appreciate you shooting him a message. FamG says I'm never getting Brother Hobby now. Yeah, Brother Hobby has a couple of motors that I'm really interested in, but I can't buy them because of that experience. I understand why. I don't know. I would none of these FPV companies have parking lots filled with Ferraris. A $44,000 order, and I might even be getting that number wrong, but I'm pretty close. An order of that size literally could have bankrupted the company. And it's hard to be like, well, yeah, fuck you. You should be bankrupt for ripping somebody off like that. Maybe not. So that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Going into the problem is that the prototype motors were correct, and then the production motors were not. That's a tough one. But trying to see all sides of something, on the other side of it, when you do a manufacturing order, you're taking a risk. Like, yes, I think it is absolutely reasonable to expect that the prototype is identical to the final version, but everybody that does a production run in manufacturing ever should know good and well that that you're taking a huge risk. So, yeah, I don't know, but I can't buy Brother Hobby motors anymore. Every time their 2004s are the lightest weight 2004s, and they're what I run on the analog Cinesplorer. And I would love to have a couple extras in stock, but every time I go to get one of their green and gold ones, I'm like, oh God, no, fuck you for doing that. Like, that's just so uncool. Hey, the FPV says FPV Cycles has almost been bankrupt 3 times now. Yeah, and it's all been related to this. Just ordering big quantities of stuff from China is real sketchy. So, yeah, kind of is what it is. Let's fly a horrendously overpowered Tiny Whoop. Let's see if I got any of my mojo back between the stream on Friday and today. I was flying like an absolute asshole on Friday. I just could not get it together. Hold on, I gotta pee though. Here's a little bit more flight footage from Cabo. Be right back. This guy. This is not the greatest thing to watch. This was me really getting kicked around by the wind. H264. This should be good. This one's not really great to watch either. Where's the, I know a bunch of you guys have seen this, but the lighting is just so fucking cool. I'll be right back. It's the most epic and suspenseful thing I think I've ever seen. on Epidemic Sounds, they have like you got to use a couple of words to describe your music, and that song was they used the words suspense and epic, and yeah, it's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. I couldn't think of the word. Pretty accurate. All right. Let's fly an overpowered tiny whoop. Those are words that I never thought I'd be saying out loud. How are we in a place where we have overpowered tiny whoops? That's pretty cool. Here we go! Oh, this is a hot jam. Hey, 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 hey! Come on! Let's get it! Starting 2023 off right, friends. Come with me. Let's make some serious shit happen this year. What do you say? My goggles are off. Come on! Come on, transmitter. Work. There it is. Oh god. This, oh Jesus, this thing's got fucking power. It's on the Gemfan biblades. Man, the image quality looks horrible though. Is this lens like dirty or something? Hold on. So this is the image should look no worse than the other Mobula 6s, but I swear to God it does. I think the lens is a little dirty. Yeah, the lens is dirty. Okay, cool. That's better. Yeah, so this is the AIO that does this core temperature warning bullshit. Super annoying. Never really been able to figure out what the hell it is. So these are 30,000 kV 0802s. Oh boy, oh boy. Whoa! I don't think I hit anything. I think it just dropped an arm. Oh no, I hit the ceiling. Wow, yeah. So I'm doing the same throttle blip that I usually do on 0702s, but these have so much more power that it's hitting the ceiling. Oh boy. Oh boy. That was not on purpose. Hold on, I'm trying to get this good, big, full room power. Oh boy. Oh, no. Yeah, it is dropping an arm. This AIO is on its way out. Oh, it might have just gone. Nope, there it goes. Hold on, let's come back downstairs here. This AIO's been struggling for a while. Oh, wow, yeah, so I can really feel the extra weight. That crash there was... What the hell? Was specifically because of the extra weight. I expected it to stop sliding and it didn't. I'm stuck on a PS1, yo. Yeah. Okay. Oh wow, this is getting hot. Hot AIO. Ah! I tried to force that one. Temperature's coming down. Goggles, I swear to God, I'm gonna light you on fire. Oh boy. Stop fucking beeping. I just charged you. Oh God, okay. So the problem is... Oh, there's a shitload of fluff. When I had that little run-in with the the tree top, the white owl tree topper upstairs, I must have sucked a bunch of the feathers into motor number 4. So hold on, let me clear this out. This AIO is going though. The FETs on this AIO are starting to shit the bed, but having this motor all wrapped up with feathers. Oh, and motor 2 has got a bunch of tinsel wrapped around it too. That's pretty awesome. Okay, let me get this cleared out. Hold on, friends. Okay. Alright. Motor 2 is cleared. Motor 4 is almost cleared out. There's some extra feathers in the bottom of the motor. That's kind of fun. Ah, there we go. Okay, now we're good. Let's try that again. Fresh battery, fresh year. I hate this song on Epidemic Sounds. I feel like everybody that's ever edited a video with copyright-free music has used that song. Here we go. Front motors are cleared out. Man, this rig is got an awful lot of power. I could probably go to tri-blades, but it makes plenty of power on the biblades, so no real reason. You can see throttle resolution is a little bit more challenging on this rig. Oh, okay. Oh boy. No, no, no. Okay. Where is it? Where are you, friend? Little guy, where are you at? Oh, it's in the giveaway box. Alright, here we go. Let's bring the volume on this music down a little bit. Okay. 30,000 kV 0802s. Where am I? Where am I? What's up and what's down? Hold on, the camera got knocked out. Oh, you see the jello? These motors are not living their best lives. They have had the hell beaten out of them. And they are, yeah, the motor shafts are definitely getting bent. These EX0802 motors, though, are notoriously a little bit less durable than the regular 802s or even the 702s. So not super surprising that these motors are starting to get the motor shafts bent enough that that they are giving me some jello. That's also probably why the image quality looks like shit. Man, I don't even need to blip full throttle to do these power loops with these motors. That's kind of wild. Just getting that dialed in. There we go. Alright, let's go. Oh God, no! Do not kill! Get off of me, wire. Get off. Get off. Oh, boy. I've definitely gotten... Oh, wow. Chewed through the battery, too. Battery life is... Wow, minute 55. That's... I think this AIO is... The fact that this AIO pops that core temperature warning up all the time like that, there's something weird going on with this AIO. I don't think that these 802 30,000s would give you quite this low of a runtime on a healthy AIO. I could totally be wrong, but that's my suspicion. BTX antenna still plugged in. Yeah, I mean, everything's fine. But, yeah, there's something going on with this. It's been doing this for a while, but... Oh, something bad's happening. I put a dead battery on. Did I put a dead battery on, or... Yeah, I did. The other charged battery is over here. Hold on. That battery's gonna be hurting. Radio killer. 4.36. There's the charged battery. Alright, one more real quick. Everything says, have you noticed the EXs being that much less durable? I gotta say, I haven't felt the durability was dramatically different. Ventlen, one of the last couple months, buzz about it. About standard for me when I'm flying more. I've heard from the racers that they definitely notice the EXs are quite a bit less durable. I have not... It's hard to really say for me because the EXs are a lot lighter than the full can 0802s. And that weight is going to drastically change the durability. So it's tough to say. I have flown the EXs much more, so much more than the full cans that I can't say. I can't say whether they're a lot less durable. They shouldn't be, though. My guess is that they make more power, so you're going faster, so you hit harder. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really. You can get the regular. It kind of doesn't matter because you can get the regular Happy Model EX 0802s from pretty much anywhere, and then just pop the bells off and swap the bells onto these 30,000s. So yeah, and it's not that hard. It really isn't. So yeah, it kind of doesn't matter all that much. And man, they got some serious performance. I'm really digging the grunt that they've got right now, and they're definitely heavier, don't get me wrong, but they're not that much heavier. That was an awkward move there. I'm gonna be flying these more. I'm going to be flying these more for sure. I'm going to replace a couple of these bells to get this jello out. Figure out which ones are the most bent. But this is kind of awesome. This rig flies great with these motors. God damn it. I'm behind the thing. I'm definitely not a fan of how much heavier it is, that's for sure. But the extra power is nice. The full can regular 0802s are definitely way too heavier, way too much heavier, for me. But these EX 0802s, man, let me put it this way: these have so much more power than the 702s that it definitely, if I can get the throttle control figured out, because right now they're a little twitchy. Yeah, it's gonna be well worth the extra weight for the extra power. Oh, I don't have enough throttle expo added in. Of course it's gonna feel like this. This needs to be up at like 30. All right, so that right there fixes the they're too twitchy on the throttle issue. So yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna be flying more batteries on this for sure. I'll probably end up sticking with the 702s because the lightweight for the way that I fly is kind of super important. But damn, that's fun. That's really, really, really fun to have that kind of power from a tiny whoop. Man, yeah, it's been a while since I flew this. The thing that I remember from the last time I flew them was that they were like completely uncontrollable. Oh, and I got... It's starting to pull the motor wire out of this one. The motor wire is starting to pull out of the connector. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, so I gotta swap the motor leads out of this one. Maybe this is one of the ones that's bent. Hopefully. Hold on. Arr, arr, arr. Yarg. Let me see how bad this is. Oh yeah, that's pretty bad. That's like half the inner strands from that motor that are that have parted ways with the plug. So let me do this. Let me pull the propellers off. So this is motor 2. Motor 2 needs a new lead on it. Let's see, and I'm going to show you guys how to check if your motor shafts are bent. Motor 2 needs a new lead soldered on. It might also need a new bell. So to check if your motor shafts are bent on your tiny whoop, pull the props off, put a battery on it. Let me put the battery on it that has the most charge. 3.57, 3.53, 3.70. Here we go. Put a battery on it. Since you have the props off, you can just arm it. Battery, give it a second. Come on. Arm it. And now take your fingernail. You can also do this in turtle mode, whatever. Take your fingernail and put it next to the motor shaft. And you're gonna feel how much it's vibrating. Nah, don't do it. Arming it, it's fine. And check each motor individually. Motor number 3 is beautiful. Oh, motor number 4 is horrible. You're gonna have to disarm and rearm it. Because it's gonna wanna... it just ran this battery all the way down. Motor 4 was really rough though. Oh boy, this battery just went all the way down to Chinatown. So yeah. Why is this fucking music still playing? Sorry guys. That was probably pretty loud. Could you hear anything I just said? God damn it. 3.6. Well, I'll leave it. Yeah. Just put your fingernail up against the motor shaft, and you'll feel how much the motor shaft is vibrating. I'm gonna have to wait until that battery's charged, and I'm gonna have to do that again. And then you'll know which. And then so you take the you find which one is the worst. You take that one off. You replace it with a new bell or a fresh motor, and then you see if the jello is gone. If it's not gone, you take off the one that's second worst, and that's the cheapest way to do it. In my case, I'm gonna pull motor 2 off of here because I have extra of these leads, and I'm gonna take this motor off to remind myself that I need to switch this lead. Once the wires start to pull out of the crimped on connectors on these leads, you're pretty much done. I mean, you can put a little bit of solder in there, that'll probably work, but if it's starting to pull the strands, it's going to pull more of the strands, and it's just, you end up kind of chasing it around. It's usually best to just replace it at that point. Especially because when you try to get solder in there, you're going to get it on the plastic plug, and it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, it could be hanging on by like just one strand. This motor could have been decreasing the amount of power. It's hard to get in there. Just replace it. You can buy these little leads nowadays. So no real reason to not just really quickly pull the shrink wrap down off of it and pop a new little lead on there. Which is exactly what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to put a slightly shorter lead on to save a little bit of weight. These EX motors got the hell beaten out of them when they were on the Mobula 7 with all that weight. So I'm not surprised that a couple of these motors are really rough just now. Apache Smoke says, don't forget to unplug the VRX. Thank you, dude. Almac says that I see Bert on your finger. No, it's Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. FamG says, man, I'm always rebalancing my 4S 850 mAh Tattoo batteries lately. They haven't been the same they used to be. I have really good luck with Tattoo R lines, as long as you don't over discharge them. If you over discharge them, they're not gonna be any of the lighter weight, higher performing batteries are gonna do worse being over discharged. I've definitely noticed that. Like China Hobbyline batteries, you can pound the shit out of them. You can over discharge them all day, every day, and they just seem to keep going forever. Tattoo R lines are a much more high performance, much lighter weight per milliamp battery, and they're a little bit more fragile. You know, they're like the Ferraris of the battery world. So yeah, but not over discharging them, man. Well, you know what? I actually don't have many. I only have one Tattoo. No, now I have three Tattoo R-Line 4S 850s. Most of my 4S 850s are actually GNB. So everything that I just said is in reference to Tattoo's R-Line 1050 mAh cells. Their 1050 cells have been phenomenal for me. I've only got that one 850. It's been fine. I don't use it a ton, though. I use the GNBs much more often because they were a lot cheaper from RDQ. What I do have, though, now is 3, maybe 4 Tattoo R-Line 4S 1050. They're hard to find. I don't even remember where I found them. But, yeah, I've been using those now that I'm flying digital, and the Cinewhoops, it's heavier, and I need a little bit more milliamp. So, yeah. Can't speak too much to the R-Line 850 cells. Ramdongo says, what's the adjustable canopy called for 65X Happy Model? I think it's just called, like, the Mobula 6 canopy. Mobula 6 canopy. Yeah, they don't really have a name for it. Happy Model, Mobula 6, Moblate 6, Moblate 7, FPV, Tiny Whoop drone replacement canopy. They don't really have a great name for it. But yeah, you just got to go by like what it looks like. It looks like Tiny Whoop has it. Nope, sold out. Mobula 6 canopy and camera mount. Yeah, they don't really have a specific name on it. I love this canopy though. I love it! Get FPV has it. No, they don't. It's out of stock. Oh, hey, look at that. This is the one with the fourth mount point, the front mount point, which is kind of cool. Not like totally necessary, but kind of cool. That's what came with the Mobula 7 ELRS. So it looks like you can get it on Amazon. No, you can't. Yeah, it's hard to find. Good Venture Drones? Good Venture Drones has it. There you go. Happy Model Mobula 6 canopy. There you go. Michael D says the music was real low in the background. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Johnny Cat says, thanks for the reply on Facebook regarding the new Mobula 6. I replied with a couple pictures of the new flight controller it comes with. One of the pics shows the board not fitting into the Beta FPV frame. So yeah, Johnny Cat messaged me over on Facebook, and he said that he just got a Mobula 6, and the AIO is a little different. So let me take a quick look, because that's super annoying. And he says that he's having trouble getting it to fit in the Meteor65 frame, which really sucks. So battery wires, cam connectors pressed against the ducts, warp the prop guards. I could modify the power. Has anything to do with camera plug, pads on the boards, the side of the cam tube, bypass it. All right, so hold on. Let me. Why won't this picture go any bigger? Can you display the picture a little bit bigger, Facebook? God, fucking Facebook's Messenger is just the shittiest shit in all the shits. Oh, so that's the X12. Is that the X12? No, that's not the X12. Is it? So there's one of two things going on here. Either this is the X12 board. No, it even says there ELRS F411 V3.3. So I'm trying to take a look. Sorry guys, I don't necessarily want to show you guys the whole goddamn conversation, and Facebook fucking refuses to let me look at this picture in anything bigger than goddamn post-it. What is fucking Facebook, you piece of shit bastards. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, so here's something that this might be. Make sure that this isn't the Meteor65 Pro frame. The Meteor65 Pro frame uses enlarged ducts for a bigger propeller, and you can't run a regular AIO. So take this frame and hold this one of these guards upside down against this Happy Model Mobula 6 frame. This duct should be the exact same dimensions as this one. If it's not, then you accidentally bought the Meteor65 Pro frame, and that would absolutely explain why this is happening. If this duct is the exact same size as this Mobula 6 duct, then Happy Model has increased the size of their AIO. All right, so he's saying I think it might be the Pro frame. The picture, it's hard to tell in that picture because you're holding this Whoop frame close. That's the Pro. 661 says it's the Pro 30. Okay, so that's what's going on. That being said, let's just make sure. I'm gonna compare that. I can compare that. Fucking Facebook, dude, come on, you douchebags. Okay. I'm going to compare this frame. So you see here, so we've got a known mounting point, and then the PCB does this little thing. So I can just compare this to the ones that I've got, and it's the same. So yeah, this is the new Happy Model AIO, and it has the same little indent as all these other ones. So yeah, the new AIO. And you can see it's the new AIO by the fact that it says V3.3. So yeah, that's what's going on, brother. You accidentally bought the Pro frame. You're not the first, and you will not be the last to have made that mistake. This rig that I was just flying is the V1.0. Let me look at what the silk screening is on all of these AIOs that I have here from Happy Model. Does this one not have anything? Wow, that's weird. This one doesn't have anything silkscreen into it. What? Hold on. It's supposed to be up there in that corner. Well, that's weird. I don't know what the hell version this one is. It's up there on the corner, isn't it? Yeah, it's right below where the ceramic antenna lives. Interesting. This one has nothing silk screened onto it. And then this third one. Hey, this one is a V1.0. Okay. So yeah, I've got two V1.0s. One of the V1.0s is the one that's seems to be on its way out. And then the all purple one is has no markings there whatsoever. Which is kind of weird. So yeah, dude, thank you for sending those pictures over so that we can kind of confirm that. $3 mistake, my man. Johnny Cat says, hoping it's as durable as the light. Hoping what's as durable as the light is my question. All right. Where are we at here? FamG says, that's probably my issue. Very true. I tend to over discharge. Yeah, you got to be careful with the lightweight bat. It's just, it's easy to quantify it because the lighter weight, I know the lightweight is a weird way of quantifying it, but the lighter weight batteries are like the higher performance batteries, and they just all seem to be more fragile. The Thunder Powers are the exact same way. So yeah, and then the China Hobby lines, they're the fattest batteries. They seem to be the most sort of durable. BeepTube says, I've managed to make some R-Line 2000 mAh 4S batteries last a couple of years. Now the ones that weren't destroyed are just goggle packs. Nice. Ramdago says, thank you, I got it. Johnny Cat says, you're correct, it's a Pro frame. Awesome. All right, I mean, not awesome, but yeah, kind of awesome. That's the cheapest mistake you could have possibly made. Johnny Cat says, the new 3.3 flight controller being as durable as the flight controller that came with the Mob6 0702 version. Yeah, I doubt that they've changed anything on the AIO. I doubt, I bet you it's just firmware related, so the durability should be really the same. It is after 5 o'clock. Thanks for hanging out, friends. We got absolutely nothing done on the, well, no, look, hey, we put arms on. Oh, we put the arms on. Oh, look, we put the motors on. Oh, shit, the glide builds continue. I did this the other night. I put the arms and the motors on the other night. But yeah, look, one of the for sale rigs is a little bit closer. I'll do more work, and then I won't have a name for tomorrow's stream. Is tomorrow a giveaway stream? I don't know. Tomorrow might be a giveaway stream. If it is, see you there. If it's not, hopefully I still see you there. Thanks for hanging, friends. I'll see you tomorrow night. Happy 2023. Happy New Year's. Thanks for coming along with me on this wild journey. Let's keep going, god damn it. Here comes some frying with some epidemic donkeys. Future base? Sure, why not? Here's some of the tiny whooping from that trip. Be good, people. I'll see you tomorrow night. Come on, OBS, you goddamn pile of shit.